going to tell you a story, right? The story is about a chimpanzee called Rin, right? This chimpanzee, this scientist came out somewhere, Harvard or somewhere like that, gets this chimpanzee, right? It's a chimpanzee originally when a chimpanzee is about like 6 months old, right? Gets the thing. His whole purpose was with science is to teach it sign language, right? So he teaches sign language, but when he gets the thing, he has to leave it somewhere. So he's given like a bit of land, and then he has 2 minors, right? One of them is a woman, the other fella is a bloke. The whole purpose is that they write bits of paper, what they do with the chimpanzee during the day, right? So, what they teach him, what signs he does, what this, that, and that. The first person that gets him, right, is your woman, right? And she gets close to him, but she humanises. She gets nurturing, becomes mothery to this chimpanzee, right? Then your man, the scientist, he turns around and he's looking at all. That, it's disturbing his experiment to this.
Yeah.
Right? It disturbs his experiment. So it's like, I have another person that's just, oh man, they qualified, they're genius in science, sign language, this, that, and the other, but at the same time they're trying to keep out for chimpanzee behaviour. Don't humanise it.
Yeah.
We just want to teach a bleeding wild animal
Yeah.
how to speak in science, right? The other one is originally when she's minded it, because she humanised it. She started getting these funny feelings towards this chimpanzee. She was sexually aroused, right? This was the complaints why the scientists wanted to take the chimpanzee off her.
Yeah.
She kind of, because it was cute, it's this, that, and the other. I'm not saying that this, that, and the other, I'm not doubting her, I'm not dogging her, but she was sensualised by the thing.
Yeah.
So she got used to it, she'd get naked in front of the chimpanzee, and he got complained because every time this chimpanzee, what he used to do was, even with the other scientists and the other minders, he'd always rub up on people's privates.
Right.
All the time. That's where he got, and then he go all the time. You know. So of course then, takes the chimpanzee, takes it off her, gives it to the other one. Whereas 24 hours, this woman, it's just signs.
Yeah.
Sign language, this, that, and the other, blah, 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 right? She keeps this chimpanzee for another 5 to 6 years, right? Oh, beforehand, he gets a load of land, he gets this nice mansion in the middle of Boston, he goes. It's fucking huge. He's given like 40 acres just for this like experiment.
Yeah.
Rent free, this, that, and the other, and he hires another 10 staff, he goes.
Yeah.
But at this stage, the chimpanzee's grown up.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Like, so he's becoming a chimpanzee, yes. And your woman that's with him all the time and start to realise that that's the purpose here for the science and the stat. You know, he starts biting him. Now, he really, because they didn't cut his fangs out, as I think they didn't cut them out, so he was biting ears all the time.
Yeah.
Or if he went to something, he'd bite on a kneecap and go somewhere aggressively hard.
Yeah.
And as he was growing and growing and growing, even though when he was about like 8 months old, he was twice as strong as a man he was. Even though he was like underneath 4 foot. He was an animal, I think he was. And the main scientist do it. Even though he was having a little thing with your one that was minded bleeding, he could never see it. She comes and she complains, this, that, and the other. The first 2 times that the chimpanzee attacked her, he caused her 150 stitches.
Oh, fuck. Jeez.
Do you understand? So, like, he ripped up all the arteries off her arm, he bleeding, went after the arteries in her legs and everything. He knew exactly, even though he was never thought to be a chimpanzee, he went after due to certain spots, right? So then she quits. The man comes round, he hires another 2 people. One of the blokes that turns around and hires Matt Stone. So turns around for 5 years as a chimpanzee. He brings the chimpanzee and says, shit, I have to bring him out because mate and this, that, and the other. He gets stoned every day.
Yeah.
Right? So brings him out and he gets stoned every day. Unfortunately, on this park where the chimpanzee was, with his mate and stuff like that, the science lab came around and took all the stock of the chimpanzees and started experimenting. It was around the time of HIV and hepatitis and stuff like that.
Yeah, Jesus.
So the chimpanzee, like, from his life, he was raised as a human being, he was raised as a kid. When he started going into it, he was being taught to be a chimpanzee as later in his life. He had a stencil of his years as an experimental little piece of shit. That's basically what it is, right? So by then, this other multi-millionaire turns around and sees it because of his famous chimp. He goes, I'm going to buy him out of the lab. He buys him out of the lab. And he thinks to himself, I'm doing a favour because he's getting seen and all this land and all. This dude rescues animals and all. He's getting on the news and all. Oh, look, I'm at the point of this chimpanzee. He leaves the poor old chimpanzee in a cage on his own for, was it, another 10 years. They're social animals.
Yeah.
One day, one of the original person that had him at the start, at the beginning of the story, I said, comes up to visit, goes into the cage with him, and just, she thought to herself, he's going to remember me.
Yeah.
He's going to talk to me, he's going to be this, that, and the other. But within that time period, 16 years has gone through, and his whole life has been miserable as. She walks in, gets into the cage. Your woman's telling her that keeps him now. Say, don't go near that fucking thing. He's angry, he's bleeding, he climbs up to the top of the cage, he goes. She walks in and goes, no, it's gonna be grand, I'm signing with him, I'm talking to him, everything's cool. Chimpanzee comes straight down, grabs her by her 2 arms, smashes her from one place to the other, he does. This goes on for 20 minutes, and thank God she had a lucky escape where you can bite the face off. But it all came from, she took what she wanted out of it, and that poor animal went through fucking horrific style of his life. And thank God then, what your man is, the original fella that bought him and left him on the land, he passed away, but he left it to somebody else. And they ended up rescuing a lot of chimpanzees. Chimpanzee lived to live, he was 46 years of age. And he killed Lee, everything killed.